Hello and good afternoon or good morning, depending what time you're catching this video at. The video I'm going to record today is going to demonstrate how to use the theme customizer in Shopify to make changes to your homepage and default pages. So we will start. So when you sign into Shopify, again, here's what your Shopify admin will look like. And here is the website in question that we are going to be, playing around with. So what you first need to do is go down here to Sales Channel where it says Online Store. And then I'm just going to open that up. To view the online store like this, simply all I need to do is click the eyeball, and you can see right here it's loading, and here you go. Now you have your online store open. Now to actually make changes to that website is in the theme section right over here, which I'm already in. You can see it because it's highlighted. And then right over here in the middle, the green customize button. So I'm going to want to click that. So now I am in the theme customizer view. And you'll notice right away that even though I am in the desktop view here, it looks a little bit different than what the actual website looks like. If I open this up, you'll notice right away this section right here is nice proportional images, where again, if I go back, not so proportional. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're making your edits, that what you're seeing on this view isn't necessarily what it looks like on the desktop. Going back. So starting at the top, on the left-hand side, here's your exit button. So if ever you need to exit this page, this is what you will use. You'll see here, this is the actual URL of the test website. And you can see it right up here as well. And you'll notice it says editor, which this test website is a little bit different. Here it says live, and there's some, edit code, languages, et cetera. You don't really need to be playing around with this too much. But this over here might come in handy, homepage. So I can actually toggle this and go to my product pages, and then specific to like a default product page. I can also go to pre-order or contact, but again, this isn't being used. By default, it's not being used, but the default product page is being used. So you can play around with these. This demonstration is more to help you out with your homepage as well as your default pages, which we're going to open up your default page, and you see it right here, default page. Just to show you what I'm referring to when I say default page, if I click on it, it's just popping up a random page, in this case, the financing page. And you'll notice there's some elements here on the left-hand side. Those elements are a little bit different, but the point is I can add design elements from the Shopify template to a default page, which will then apply to all of our pages. So for example, financing is one page. Another page we have on the website is usually an About Us page, which doesn't look like we have here in the demo. Not the best example, but the default page means the changes that you make to this page will apply to all of your pages. So for example, if I were to add an element, a section right here, add a logo list, and I could see there's this element that I've now added. And if I were to add an image to this logo, just to show you an example, it's not necessarily a logo itself, but you could add any image you want. Now, if I click save, now if I go back to the demo to see the change applied, you'll notice the financing now has a logo list. And this would apply to any page that I create using my the Shopify admin. Creating pages is on a different video, but the default page rules still apply. Going back now to the home page, or actually before I forget, I will remove this. So I'm going to click on the logo list and then click remove section. Save. Going back now to the home page. So you'll notice, again, so there's another, on the right-hand side, you can even toggle between views of the mobile device and desktop, and then full screen to play around with that. So now on the left, so there's a sections tab, a theme settings tab, which is a little paintbrush, and then the app embeds. In this video, we're going to go through the sections and a little bit of the theme settings. So first and foremost, the sections. The sections are everything that you see here on the left-hand side, which we also saw in the default page earlier, but now we're on the home page, and you'll notice that there's already some sections and elements already set. Starting at the top, if I click on one of the elements that you see highlighted in bold, for example, announcement bar, you can see on the right-hand side now, it'll then show you where this section is. Pop-up, well, it's a pop-up, so it's not necessarily on the website right now, but the header, for example, you can see the header appears. Slideshow, if I just hover over it, you see the slideshow appears. Feature collection, which is currently hidden, and you can know that it's hidden with the little line in the eyeball, and it's a little bit of a lighter gray. Promotion blocks, for example, and it takes you down. Collection list, featured product, logo list, etc., etc. If I want to add a completely new section to this website, again, my overall sections, I would scroll down to the bottom, and then where it says add a section. So for example, you notice we have a slideshow at the top. I'll go back here to the home page. Here is your slideshow banners right here. I can add another slideshow section by going down to the bottom again and clicking add section. Click it, and then you'll see all the sections appear. There's a show more button right here. I'd recommend clicking on the show more, clicking on it again. Now you see all the options. There's quite a few, so I recommend just playing around, experimenting, and exploring them. But you can see right here, slideshow. So if I click on slideshow now, you can see now at the bottom, I've now added another slideshow section. And now I can add additional slideshow images. You'll notice when I'm on the highlighted option, and that goes for whether it's slideshow, text with icons, offers, logo, any of these, there'll be options that appear over here on the right-hand side, and that pertains to the overall element. Then will be additional options if I go on the individual slide itself, so the individual part of the element. So in this case of the slideshow, we have slide banners or images, and then you can see here, Shopify will tell you what is required or what is recommended with all the options. And this will be different for every single element that you're on. To add slides to the slideshow section, you just click where it says add slide. You'll notice if there is a limit, it'll let you know. So in this case, the slideshow only lets you display a maximum of 6 slides. I can move slides up or down, or I can move this slideshow. Right now it's at the bottom. Maybe I want this to go up to the top, right below my other slideshow. So now I have, double slideshow going on right here. Not necessarily recommended, but just to show you and highlight what you can do. If I want to simply hide this, click the eyeball, and you'll notice it now vanishes. It still exists, but it just will not display on your website. I can make it reappear by clicking the eyeball. If I decide I do not need this section, it's cluttering up everything, I just make sure it's highlighted. And then on the right-hand side down here, you'll notice it says remove section. So I click that, and now it is removed. So see the name of every single element that exists on your website listed here. So for example, the feature collection is not visible, but I can toggle this on, and this is what a feature collection looks like. And again, on the highlighted and left, and then on the right-hand side, you could see everything here pertaining to that element and everything you need to do. So in this case, you're not setting individual images, you're setting a collection to this section. And then you're naming it, displaying the products you want to show, the layout, and then for some of them, there might even be mobile specific options. But I do not want this to display on this website, so I'm going to hide it. Promotion block, same thing. Highlighted, the overall settings, and then in the individual settings. So here, and then everything you need to know to make this display and make this come to life. So that's how you could play around with the elements and add additional elements. The top header and the announcement bar is a little bit different, so we'll go over that. So the announcement bar, you click into it. Again, it will give you the instructions, but there might be additional things you need to do, like the colors, toggling the announcements on and off, et cetera, et cetera. Pop-ups. We don't have a pop-up set up on this website, but it would be as simple as you go into pop-up and you click add block. It'll give you an option. And then here you go. This is what it looks like. And then you can adjust the settings over here. But I don't want this pop-up, so maybe I'll just hide it. Maybe I'll decide to come back to it later. And then the header, again, this is where you set your logo. You could set colors. You could set, some information. And again, because this specific section here does not require images aside from the logo, it's a little bit different, the information that it asks for you. In this example, it'll ask you for a navigation for your menu bar, which you see right up here. Same thing for the footer. The footer lies below all your sections. So if I open up the footer, I can add blocks, and I can add blocks of navigation, email subscription, or just simple text. And you can see here. And something to keep in mind is the footer will appear on every page, as will the main menu top header. We're now going to look quickly at the theme settings, because this is where you're going to go to adjust your colors, your overall colors. So if I open this up, you'll see every single section. So if I wanted to change, for example, the section right where you see that is gray right over here. Well, this is in the header. So I'm going to go here. Let's just say I wanted this to be red. I'll just copy this. I wanted to show you an example. And now you can see the change that is applied in real time. And again, I could choose to save this. If I don't like it, I can just click undo. And now it's back to what it was. So you see there's options for primary button, secondary button, headers, footers, products, etc., etc. So this is where you would find your colors. Same thing, you can adjust your typography. You can play around with some of these, but normally we will not touch them. It's really up to you. So I just recommend just looking through them so you're aware of them. Social media, for example, is one that you might want to use. This is where you can set your social media accounts, which will appear at the bottom, right, like this. Favicon image, which is the image you see right up here. And then the meta tags and custom scripts. So for example, if you have a chat function on your website or a Google Analytics tag, you might want to use the meta tags and custom scripts tab over here to add various scripts of code to the website easily, either to the body or to the head. So that concludes our brief basic theme customizer training. If you have any additional questions, please contact service@tailbase.com.